What's going on, people? This is Damir, and you're watching the live TV. And today I'm with my special guest,
Kestine, Ivenike, Osareve, Love, Ubodu.
Yeah, I was listening to you. I was like, what? How many names is it? Is it 3 names or what in the middle?
Fam, there's like altogether is like 6 names. There's 2 that I didn't mention. Like on my passport, there's like 5 or 6 of it. So it's ridiculous.
No way. That's sick.
You know how
that's crazy. I know how it is. I don't know how it is. I'm the same. Like, I have 2, but I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, man. You sent me the link. I listened to your album.
Yes.
I listened to it 4 times now. 4 times now.
Really?
And you know what I call it, yeah? It's one of those short and sweet. I call it short and sweet. Because when I was still enjoying it, I finished it, you know? And I felt, I had the first song starting again. I was like, oh, damn, it's over. Do you know what I mean? Like, it left me wanting more. I was like, damn, that's good. Because usually, when I listen to albums, I'm like, damn, what song is this now? Because it's too long, or, it's just, it's just there. Like, it's just ordinary music. But I was enjoying your shit, man. I was really enjoying it.
Thank you, bro. It means a lot from you.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with the song that we just played before it goes away, like Melanie. Is that a real story or is that a fictional story?
It's a combination of both. So for the audience that don't know what's up, I'm Kestine, and it's my EP Reflection. And the song he was on about is Melanie. And Melanie is like a combination of like conversations I've had with a lot of my female friends, like them telling me their fears of what it is to be a woman. And it's true. It's true because I guess a lot of the stories that my friends told me, it just kind of reflects the character of Melanie. Now, the character of Melanie is not real, but her story is very real. Like it was just conversations with my female friends. And I'm not sure if you're on social media like that, but on the Black Irish Twitter, there was actually like a list of men that were doing rubbish up in Dublin. And it was just a combination of the list. And there was a couple of names on that list that I actually recognized. And, it was just and that was in 2020. So it was just knowing of that, and then just the stories that my, female friends were telling me. And then I created Melanie. And fam, I won't lie to you, I'm a little bit scared as to how this song is gonna, be reciprocated. Because it can either go left or right. People can be like, oh my God, it's great. Or they can be like, who are you? Who's this black man to talk about this issue, So because I can't predict how it's gonna go, but
that's true. We've seen a lot of artists writing stuff and the songs getting taken for different thing, with a different meaning. I get what you mean, but I'm sure people will understand, because I think
it's a triggering subject. It's a triggering subject, but go on, man.
No, go on.
Like I said, because it's a triggering, subject to talk about. I mean, sexual assault. Nobody wants to talk about that, And fam, me, like I want to rep Cork all day, and I want to compete against JLOL, Tulu McKay, Denise Charla. It'd be easier if I made a catchy radio song, but instead I'm doing something opposite and be like, you know what? Let's talk about this. So I don't know. I don't know.
So are you doing a video for it?
Yeah, I'm planning to. It's one of the songs a lot of people got onto me saying that, like the female friends that I showed, some of them cried. Some of them was like, yo, we need to do something with this. Other radio personalities up in Dublin said, you need to do a music video for this. So it's something we're definitely going to do a music video for.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you like what inspired it. So now you've told me about. I didn't even know about the Black Twitter anyway. So I once talked to someone before, and they were talking about like sometimes they blame men for what other men do because like we are around these people. We're friends with some of the people, and how do we really approach them when things like this come up? Like if a woman complained about our friends, do we approach our friends and say, bruh, this is how you should do this, don't do this like this? Or do we just stay away and, keep it under the rug just because they are our friends? Do you know what I mean? So now that you said to me that you have recognized some of the names, are these names that are close to you, or is just people that you might know from a distance?
There are people I know of. One of them would be, I don't want to say close to me, but I grew up with him per se.
Yeah.
In terms of when he was in Cork, like when we were kids. But then he kind of moved to another county. So ever since he moved, we haven't really been in contact like that. You know, we knew each other when we were kids. Like, you know, anybody that was from Cork, you know, if you grew up here, you just know of each other.
You know each other.
So, but definitely, it's something that was even challenged on me, being like, yo, do you do it? If your man then does something, do you step up and do you correct them?
You step up,
you know? You know, and I've got too many women in my circle where it's not my responsibility not to do it. So if I see something, 100%. I need to check it. You know, I definitely need to check it, because I've got sisters, I've got friends. Like I don't want any of them to be in that predicament and feel like, shit, who was there to help me?
100%. So before we go any further, I want you to introduce yourself to the people in a way that you also let us know the vibe that you bring to the culture, because I believe you're one of those artists that are unique. Do you know what I mean? There are a lot of artists that are so similar, and you bring a different vibe to the industry. So I want you to like introduce yourself to the people and who you are, like how you stand out. What makes you stand out?
To the fans of Lab TV, what's the story? If you've not met me, my name is Kestine, aka KST, the man of the people, the one that's represent Cork and wants to fight Dublin. So like the man said, for me, I put myself as a student of the J. Cole's and the Kendrick Lamar's. So I want people to know that, I'm a lyricist. Before I even went on the journey of, making the EP, there was a couple of songs that I released beforehand. So I released a song in 2020 called Tangerine, which did very well on the TikTok. Then I released a song called Roll With Me. And then Roll With Me was my first song that got played on radio airwaves up in Dublin. So a lot of Dublin stations got onto me, wanted to play it. And then Tale of a Black Irish, which kind of just showed, I guess, another kind of perspective of the BLM movement, but it was energetic. It wasn't sad. It was like, shit, a guy that wants to fight. So like these songs, they all kind of had the purpose of showing you that I can make catchy songs that are, potential for radio. Whereas, there's still something behind them. But I guess with this EP, it was just something for me to show that I'm a lyricist. I spit. I can compete with the best of the best. Jafar, JLOL, shout out to all of them, but I can compete with them. So this is my opportunity to do so and show, what it means to be Cork hip hop, and show I want to show to the UK and to the US what Irish hip hop is. And I want Cork to be like the epitome and reflection of Irish hip hop, and I feel that I can lead that mantle, So I want to show you that I'm a spitter with this one. And that's it really. Just like you said, I'm a little bit different in the sense that I'm a spitter, but I can also give you the catchy stuff. And because I do the singing and the rapping as well.
The reason why I say that, and I wanted you to elaborate more, because on reflection, your intro is like, what's your purpose? And you're like, to be a king. So I was like, damn, that's not enough. Like, I wanted to hear more. I wanted to say elaborate, you're like, to be a king. And it's like, I was like, say more.
In the intro, simple to the point, but my purpose, I feel, was to be king. And if I go a little bit deeper on it, like before COVID hit, my mindset was, my purpose is to do the best that I can and make sure that I'm putting Irish hip hop on the map. However, as 2020 kind of progressed, my reflection and my appreciation of stuff kind of deepened. So I started reflecting back on. So initially, my reflection is to be king. But then I look back and then I reflect that, what's really important is my mother, is my girl, being a man, which I kind of showcased in Dear Diary. And I want to be that king still, but I needed to realize that, look, there's more to this world than title. There's more to this world than getting respect from other Irish artists and showing that you're the man, So Yeah, that was it, man. That was it.
Unity, yeah. I feel like, is there a secret message? Because I know these days artists like to do some encryption, like hide messages, behind stuff. So Unity is divided. It's like U.N.I, N.I, whatever.
Yeah.
Why did you separate it? Why couldn't it be like actual Unity? Is there a secret behind it?
Why I did it this way? It's a shout out to Queen Latifah. So, if for your fans that don't know, I was born in Germany and we moved over to Ireland. And my first interaction with English would have been the American black soldiers that were stationed in the area that I was born with. So when we came over to Ireland, there was when we came over to Ireland, there was like a videotape my dad recorded of all the big 90s superstars in reggae and in hip hop. So you had your Coolio, Tupac, Biggie, Queen Latifah. And like that video, I constantly kind of went back to it. And the music video that she had that was on that tape was called U.N.I.T.Y. And the perspective that she went at it was woman empowerment, let's stand together as women. So because of what happened in 2020 in regards to Black Lives Matter and the death of George Floyd, I was like, fuck it. Let me present a song for BLM, but let me present it in a different perspective. Let me go at it from the perspective of Black man talking to his Black people, because we need to step up. We've done nonsense. And you know what? I went back. I did my history. So I went back to the slavery times. Yes, white colonizers came to take our people. However, us as Black people sold other Black people to these white colonizers. Go back to 94, the Rwandan genocide. I mentioned the Tutsi Hutu, them killing each other.
Bring back our girls. Yeah.
And then 2014, bring back our girls. And then 2020, Lekki massacre. Then I bring it back to Dublin even, where Tala Blanche niggas. We've got Black Irish men that are fighting each other for land that does not belong to them, for territory that don't belong to them. Like, where's that sense of unity? Where's that sense of, this is my mandem? And I was like...
That thing puzzles me a lot.
It don't make sense.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
All for the sake of doing gang lifestyle.
Yeah, like... Yeah, it's crazy.
And I was just like, let me take it upon myself to question and talk to my Black people and be like, look, nobody's going to help us out. It's only when we come together and stand as one in unity and unify and be like, you know what? Let's do shit for ourselves. Is where other people will look upon us and be like, okay, there's something that's going on here. We have to have that mindset to set a level of excellence, whatever we do. Yeah. And maybe it's unfair to expect every Black person to do the best that they can. But look, we're living in a white man's world at the end of the day. Like, certain individuals will look at us, as individuals who are nothing. So unless we constantly have a level of excellence where whatever we do, we're just unbelievable, nothing will change. And we just have to stand as one and just stand with the mindset that, look, we as Black people have to be kings and queens, essentially. And I know it's corny, but there's a level of excellence that we have to have, man.
100%.
Well,
so now
unity was.
You have incorporated the two questions that was coming next. I'm just going to read it now since you already did it. These are lyrics from you. The first one, you say, just because you talk like them, you think they're friends, you realize you're the outsider.
Yeah. Good pickup. Again, that was a shout out to my team as well, because in Cork, I'm part of a group called Outsiders Entertainment. So shout out to MT Heart, MT Heart, DJ Safari, Olympio, and Outsider YP. Yeah. So, but again, it was two meanings. It was just like, look, at the end, like, because that line was talking to us as Black people being in Ireland and Black people who are in Europe in general, and to, I guess, individuals of mixed race heritage. Because I've got a couple of mandem that just believe just because, they've got one white person, one Black person,
they're better than the other.
Exactly. So I just kind of had to bring it back. Look, if there was an all-out race war, right, they would look at you not as white, but they'd look at you as Black, regardless if you're light-skinned, and regardless. So realize where you are and realize the situation that you're a part of this as well. So that's how I introduced it. Just realize that you're the outsider in the midst.
Yeah, man. And then the second one was, if you if white man is bad, we are as bad multiplied by 2. I love that. I love that. Yeah. That's when it actually, because at first when you were talking, I was like, oh, okay, you're talking about racism and blah, blah, blah. And then you talked about black on black. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Now I get it. You know, I was like, oh, okay, you're saying both sides. And then when you hit that line, I was like, fuck, this is sick. That's sick, you know? I hope, I hope everyone gets it. And I hope and pray everyone gets that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And people take, because 20, because how would I explain it? Everything's so fast paced, so everybody just wants to take stuff, digest, go. So I just hope people take 15 minutes because I purposely made sure that this EP was not too long. I wanted it to be short. I wanted it to be good. First of all, very good, short, precise, on target, so take 15 minutes, take it in and really digest it. And I think people will be able to see that, this is something that can compete with the UK. This is something that can compete with the US. It stands in line. So just like you said, hopefully people get it. I
hope they do. Okay. The preacher's son. Has your father heard your music?
My dad has heard my music. Yeah, he's heard my music.
Yeah. So let me know. I'm picturing this. How do you sit down with your father who's a preacher? Yeah. And you say, I want to be a musician. Not only a musician, but a rapper. Yeah. Yeah. And in the music, you'll include obviously words like nigger or beach, maybe, kind of thing. How does that conversation go? And what's his reaction?
So I'll take that. So my dad, I'm lucky to say that my dad is not like the typical African stereotypical dad, if that makes sense. Like for me, his purpose for bringing me and my fam here was take the most out of this opportunity, do the best you can, and do better than I ever did. So for him, he was like, yo, make sure you go to college, make sure you have a degree, which I did. I've got a microbiology degree. Thank God, I'll do the master's later on. But for him, he was just happy to say that, as long as you're going to school, as long as you have, something to fall back on, I'm happy. Nice. So which I did. So thankfully, I did a degree in microbiology, because I was into the sciences and leaving cert. So thankfully, I had a degree which I enjoyed. I finished that, and I did my thing. And as my dad just wanted that I went to university, had a degree. So then, if whatever you want to do, if you want to do sports, you want to do music, okay, but just make sure you have something. And that makes sense, right? As long as my passion doesn't disintegrate while I'm doing my thing. So my passion is my music. That's never going to go away. So from that perspective, it made sense. In terms of the language, like, I don't think there's certain songs of mine that he's heard. I don't think he's heard the songs where I'm explicitly putting, these type of language out there. Not that I don't want to, it's just, that opportunity never has come along. But I guess he'd be like, what are you saying? But I would just explain to him that, right, because my dad's a pastor, he's a preacher, right? There's a certain way that he delivers his message that only people in the church will understand, right? So I think this music thing is my pulpit. It's like where I stand to preach. So I feel that I take the messages that my dad impacted on me from church. I feel I can take those messages and take it to the world. But the way I take it to the world, there's a certain language, there's a certain way that I have to speak to them so that they get it.
So they understand.
If that makes sense.
Better.
So they understand. That's why I purposely use certain types of beats. That's why I use certain types of beats or certain types of language. Because, for example, like if someone in church was like, "Oh, God is good," someone outside the church might be like, "Okay, what are you on about?" However, if I go like, "Nigga, God is good. He brought me through so much bullshit," it hits different. It's like, shit. The language is different. I'm speaking in a language that he understands, and then I can bring the message. So that's what I feel is my responsibility, just to translate certain messages. That's why I use language, and just so people get it and be like, okay. So, but my dad don't mind. He don't mind that I'm doing the music thing.
I have to give a round of applause for your dad. I had to do that for your dad. Because listen, a lot of African parents, they stop their kids from pursuing their dreams, which are out of school. Do you know what I mean? And if you notice, like, most of people are so talented, but they end up leaving that dream, that talent, to go to school where they can't even manage to understand or to pass, because that's not their thing. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people make, if you look at white people, they make a living off their hobbies, off their talents. A lot of people, because the parents supports them from the time they're younger. To find a dad like yours who will let you do your own thing as well, even if he says, get something to fall back on as well. Do you know what I mean? As long as he gives you a go ahead to do what you love to do, that's amazing for an African parent. Because African parents know you're not gonna do no music. You are doing sciences or you are becoming a doctor. That's all. And
very
I can't.
rigid.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
African parents is just, they operate off of fear of the unknown. Like all they know is doctor, engineer, lawyer. If you're not in one of those three, it's like you're just gonna fail. And you know what? You can't blame them too much because that's what they grew up with. That's all they know. But I like any African parents that is listening to this, please don't be so rigid. Advise them. Like my dad said, have something to fall back on. Like, because at the end of the day, your parents do love you. They just want the best for you, and they're just going off of what they know. So you can't be too harsh on them as well. But just parents, just don't be too rigid on your children, because
So let's go to this one now. Epusa wemi daya. Is that epusa wemi daya? Is that what's that? What does that mean?
Say it again. I didn't hear you. I didn't hear that.
Okay, I won't try to say it again. Wait. When you ask your mom to sing the song she likes to sing in church.
The song,
What does it say? I was trying to say it, but I don't know if I'm saying it right or not.
Try it.
Epusa wemi daya.
Okay, that's not bad. It's just saying, yeah. It's not bad. Yeah, so that's one of the interludes that I put in my EP. So essentially what it means, I just wanted to kind of show the audience my church background and how important my mom is to me. And essentially what it means is, God got you regardless of the situation.
All right.
Regardless of the bullshit that you go through, God got your back. And why I purposely chose that, like I said, to show my church background, but then it perfectly enters into the final song of the EP, which is Dear Diary. And Dear Diary hits into some messages which really reflected for me in 2020. So it was the fact that one, your mother and your father, they're getting older, appreciate them. Because I see my mom and dad like superheroes, so them getting older just doesn't make sense. But because of COVID, everything slowed down, and then you just realize that, you won't have them forever. So appreciate them while you
moment,
have them.
100%.
And exactly. And then it made me realize that I have to grow to be a man so that I can be able to provide for my girl. I want to be able to be financially stable for her. I want to be able to make sure that her mom and dad know that I got her. That she rock with me, that I will be that anchor for her. And it just made 2020 just made me realize that I have to hustle because I don't want to be broke. And it's just be there for my girl and just appreciate your mother and your father, because at the end of the day, they won't be there forever. And that's why I did that thing with my mom.
Yeah, you jumped the gun already, so you went to the next song. I want to stay there for just for a second. I'm going to ask one more question, then we jump to Dear Diary. So when you're recording, did your mom know that you were recording? You're recording her, or how did that recording happen? Because look, wait.
I recorded her.
Wait.
Yeah.
In my head, I pictured you walking into the room. Let's say your mom was in the kitchen or something, and then you had your record button on. I thought that's what I had in my head. You were like, "Mom, what's the name of that song you did?" Because the way it happened, it was so natural. I was like, I can picture him like, what's the name of that song again? You sing in church, and then she started singing it. How did it go about? How did you do it?
So essentially, I just went into my mom's room and I was like, "Yo, can you sing that song for me?" And I recorded it. Now she just sang it for me. I didn't have that interaction. I added in the interaction later in the edits. So I had the vocals of her singing, and then I just kind of messed around, having that conversation with her. And that's how it went. But I did record her in her room while she was singing it for me. That definitely did happen.
That's so cool, man. So, those are some things you'll forever cherish. Like, it's documented in an audio. and you can listen back to it, and it means a lot. I could feel the chemistry like between you and your mom, the love. I could feel that spirit in there.
I'm so happy that you brought up that point, because there was like those small little cassettes back in the day before we had the CDs, right?
Yeah.
My dad had a recording of his own mother back in the day, back when they were younger as well. And he played it for me like maybe 3-4 weeks ago. Like before it was like around Mother's Day. So he played it for me. And you could just see like the emotion in his face because his mom passed back in 97. But it just, like you said, it just captures that moment. So even like for my kids, or when I'm gone, they're just like, oh man, so this is how my grandmother was back in the early days, So I do thank you for bringing up that point. It is something that
it meant a lot to me. Like I felt that. That's why I had to bring it back up and say, I need to ask you how the conversation and the recording went, because it meant a lot to me as well. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to relate to that, especially people who don't have their mothers with them now. Do you know what I mean?
With them.
Yeah. It will definitely hit harder. So the Irish jigger, man. You say on your Dear Diary, you want to be the Irish jigger. Is it? So is this financial or is that lyrical? Or both?
A little bit of both. Like I say that because Jay-Z, like you see how he is right now, like where he came from the battle raps back in 94 to kind of being under Biggie to under just growing up in the New York scene and then doing his thing, and then we see where he is right now. So like I've always had the mindset that I want to be a multi-millionaire. I want to be able to have bags, and I want to be able to hustle and create an environment where other musicians can come in, entrepreneurs can come in. I want to elevate myself to that stage. Like, and I feel like Cork is like my basis to do that. So I build off from Cork, expand, and continue to expand. And I do want to, have that mindset of hustle and being able to just create an ecosystem of creativity in Cork, So it makes sense. I want to be that Irish jigger,
Yeah. And also, like usually when people say things like that, it sounds cringy, you know what I mean? But when you say it and you incorporate things like you having to worry about saving up for mortgage for you and your kids so that you can live, nicely, that makes me say, damn, this guy is really smart. He knows what he's talking about. Do you know what I mean? He's not just saying it just because Jay-Z is Jay-Z. You know exactly what you're talking about. Because if a lot of people, like our age mates, will want to get money so they can ball, so they can spend on lavish shit.
We don't have time for that,
you see what I mean? I like that type of mentality, or someone who says, no, I want to get money, yes, but I want to invest. I want to buy stuff that lasts longer, that will create me wealth tomorrow. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you. And that point of, because I got, like, there's a line that I have, girl wants to marry, I got to buy a ring. Now she talking mortgage and marry, nigga frightening. All my savings disappearing in a flash, lightning. Like, do you know how, like, I'm trying to save constantly, but then there's stuff that's coming, taking away the money. Like, once I have a good bit saved, something all of a sudden comes along and takes all the money away. Then you're building it all over again. And it's just like, what is this? What am I working for? It's so irritating. So that's why that mindset of, right, what do I have to do so that I can be financially stable for me, my girl, my family, and my future family. I'm talking about my kids now to be, in the next 5-6 years or whatever. But that's why I went with that. Like, I want to be that Irish jigger, just so I can build for myself, build for the community. It's just like, but like, man, it's annoying. Because this, like, I don't think one can actually be rich from a simple 9 to 5. There's a couple of stuff you have to do. I feel like potentially, if I get a chance, starting a business, I think that's one way. Investing in property, I think that's another, and maybe cryptocurrency, like that kind of BS. Not BS, but that kind of avenue. But I don't think you can simply be okay if you do that 9 to 5. Like, there's other things that you have to think of and hustle so that you can build other streams of revenue. Bro. So that's why I gotta work.
100%. So there was a question I wanted to ask you again from Dear Diary, but you already included in the last when you were talking about it there before we came to the song. So I was listening to the album and I was thinking in my head like which song can be like your commercial, can classify as a commercial track. I didn't find it, and then I said, I feel like you're taking the J. Cole and the Kendrick Lamar route, like less commercial and more lyrical. And usually, if you wanted to make as much money, like usually artists will do like a one song for the radio and then they will do the lyrical within the album. So like, is this how you're gonna do your all your projects, or you're gonna switch it up?
I feel that might be how I go from henceforth. So essentially, like I said, on the EP, there isn't the typical radio song, but the last song that I released before Tale of a Black Irish was a song called Roll With Me. So I actually got in contact with a PR agency. Shout out to Fluttertone that are repping me right now. And we're doing like a press release. And we had this discussion and I was like, you know what? A song that did very well for me, that was played in a lot of radio station, was Roll With Me. So we can use that as my radio song so people get an idea of what I am. Then they can come to my project and see another side of me. And like going back to your question, I do feel, I feel that's the route I would go. Like for my projects, I'll give you the in-depth analysis of what I'm going through. However, when I'm throwing out singles, I'll give you the catchy so that you know that I can do both at the end of the day. That's why I've got songs like I'm Good, so catchy, so upbeat. I've got songs like Tangerine, Sweet Like Tangerine. They're catchy, so there is a strategy at which I will go, because at the end of the day, I don't think you can solely be successful off of that lyrical route. You have to have something that can appeal to the radio side. So that's why I was like, for the masses. So that's why I was like, all right, give them the Roll With Me. And thankfully, Roll With Me has been getting picked up. And because my PR agent is good at what he does, he's gotten it to the likes of, actually, RTE2XM, they played it. Another RTE, I think RTE2FM might be playing it soon enough. But anyway, that's correct. Like you said, give them that commercial. And then when it comes to project side, give them what you really have in your heart.
Yeah. Anyway, my man.
Yeah.
In overall, I'm a fan of lyrical miracles, like a miracle lyricals, anything that's lyrical, I'm in for it. I love it. I love the album, the project. Is it an album? Is it an EP? What is it? What do you call it? What are you calling it? EP. Okay. EP. I love the EP. I enjoyed it. I call it sweet, short and sweet, because it's really short and it's sweet. I loved it. I play every song. There's no song I can skip. The quality, excellent. I have no critic. I have no critic on this one. And I am really, to be honest, I'm really happy for you and I'm excited. Why? Because there was a time I felt like you were losing it. You were losing the hunger and the energy you came with from the time you guys did there. Was it trees, blue trees or something? I remember my first time you were performing Blue Trees in what's the name of that place again? Cypress Avenue. And when I saw you on stage, I said, this guy is talented to the maximum. And I was certain you're gonna do great things. But within the journey, you were starting, dabbling in and out of other music, and I felt like maybe you were trying to find yourself, And now, like with this album, with this EP, it was really, really like fulfilling, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. Everything about the EP, and I hope people are gonna like it. See, the thing is, no matter how much dope things you do in Ireland, like sometimes people just just goes over their heads, like, and it hurts me.
People's head, correct. That's why I am getting onto people like you, getting onto all the podcasts in Ireland, so that I can potentially let people know that there's something here, And like I said, I appreciate that point that you made, because back when I released Blue Trees, I was like a first year in university, so it's not that I didn't want to. It's just, fam, it's hard. Like trying to, for anybody that's in the position that I was, trying to do the college and then trying to do the music at the same time. it's difficult. And you know what really hurt me? Like, I'll give you a bit of insight. The 4 years that I was doing my coursework in UCC, I would see Jafaris, Soleil, JLOL. They were doing their thing and they were growing. And in my head, I was like, I can do what these guys are doing, but I have to wait and I have to be patient because right now I'm dealing with my microbiology degree and it hurt. But I was like, yo, God, give me patience. And thank God that I saw it through and I was able to do it. But now I have my opportunity to be like, all right, I'm coming for you.
Coming up.
Because I'm like I said, I know I have the ability, and I think people have said it to me, and there's a gut instinct fire in me that's like, yo, I can do this. I can really do this. And it's just now my opportunity is coming along. Like I said, everything happens at the right time. But yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad.
As long as you have a good support around you, you will make it, man. You will go far and quick.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we're just gonna play a small game before we go. You have to choose one.
Let me ask you a couple of questions. I got beef with you, right?
Oh yeah?
Fam. When Natalie, what's the girl? What's her name? Alicia Ray came along.
Yeah.
And you interviewed her. And she was like, yo, name a couple of Cork artists. There was only one artist that you could come up with. Salame. And shout out to Salame. Sick Salame. Shout out to him. But there was only one artist. What happened? What happened to myself? What happened to Empty Hearts, Minnie Marley, Jay Ronick? Who else? What happened?
She caught me by surprise. So it was an instant thing. Like I couldn't think of names. The names just flew. The reason why I named Salame is because I was working with him a lot. Like he was always in touch. Like so, he was the first name that came to my head.
Okay.
So I know there's a lot of someone called me as well. What was it again? Junior. Do you know Junior?
Yes, Junior.
Junior called me. What the fuck, man? You say, I was like, fuck, bruh. She called me by surprise. So, because I was just trying to say, you didn't contact any artist from Cork for a collab. Why?
Yeah.
And then she was like,
didn't know any.
Yeah, and then she was like, name one. So name them. So I was like, oh fuck. So, it caught me by surprise.
Okay, question. You've listened to the EP and thank you so much. Do you think this project for yourself, on your opinion, is a good reflection of Irish hip hop? So that'd be my first question.
Yeah,
do you think it's a good reflection of Irish hip hop?
I had one thing when there's a place where you use words like leads. It's, in one of the songs, I can't remember which song, and I was like, it hit every time an artist in Ireland, a rapper, especially black guys, when they incorporate Irish slangs or places and stuff, I always click to that. I always reflect to that. Your EP, I keep saying album. Your EP will resonate with a lot of people. People will relate to it. Mostly, I would say the black community, because we are more into rap than the other, like other Irish, like the Irish guys and like the population in general. Rappers will understand it.
Yes.
Rappers will like it, obviously. But the thing is, I think at this point for us to really, really get deep into making, let's say, monetizing this music, we need to find a way to
the ordinary audience
ears. For them to listen. If we get their ears first, we're going to get into their hearts. When we get into their hearts, that's when they will actually go into a deep lyrical song and listen to it. Because now they have fallen for the craft. So your album makes a lot. I think even if you do videos for the right songs and make them really stick, it has the Irish authenticity in it. It's a matter of how the people are going to see it, how you're going to put yourself across visually.
Okay.
Yeah. I think videos are more important now, because what I see is most Irish rappers, you make a song that's really, really good. When you make a video, you don't really incorporate a lot of Irishness into it. And when people see that small clip of it that has nothing relatable, they pass.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
visual is important as well, as much as the lyrics.
Stability is key. All right, cool. Second question I'd like to ask you: do you think Irish hip hop as a whole, this project, do you think that this is a project that can stand on par with what the UK and the US is doing? Because I firmly believe, look, if we're not able to compete with them, there's no point for us to do anything. We have to be able to compete and be on par with them. So do you think this project is something that can stand on par with the British, the Americans?
Well, like usual, now the British people are into the drill and stuff. But if
Dave, Stormzy, who else? Skepta, Gets, you know, apart from those guys, or Lady LaShore, who else is there? You know, anyway, yeah.
It definitely can. So at the same time, I was thinking, when you make punchlines, I think you need to find a way to make a break for people for it to marinate to people. Sometimes you say some things faster, and it cross over the people's heads. Because when I was listening to your album, I think when I listened to it the first time, I missed a lot of things. As to when I went back again, I was like, oh shit, you say that? I didn't hear that you say that. You know, because a lot of artists, like rappers across the world, when they hit a punchline, there's a small pause for people to marinate, for it to marinate into people's heads. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
So if it was an American listening to your song, they might miss a few things. You know, they might miss a few things because we say our punchlines. When you say a punchline, you do it quick and you jump to the next
line. Next bar, essentially.
Yeah.
All right.
But it does. It's really good enough. It's really good. It's really good to compete. Yeah.
Who are your top 5 Irish artists? You specifically.
Rapper or like just artists?
Artist. I'll give you range. Artist, rapper, singer, whatever.
I would go with the people that has albums. Yeah. I will start with people with albums.
Cool.
I think J Loyal.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in order. I won't put it in order.
No, not in order. Not in order.
No. After saying this, people are gonna come back to me. Why didn't you say why did you say who? Okay, because you put me on the spot again. I'm not used to being asked questions. You know, I can't prepare to ask questions. So there's J Loyal. I love Tulo.
Mm-hmm.
I love
perfect.
Yeah. I love Versi.
Mm-hmm.
YP, but YP is now a question mark. He knows because he's into a different genre of music. Yeah, but he is still talented as fuck. I know he's talented, and he's one of my favorites. I have the album guys.
Jaffa, Tolu, YP.
Yeah, Jafaris.
Yeah.
I don't want to skip someone who has done really.
So
I like Dennis Chyler. I like Dennis Chyler.
Okay.
That's fine. This list is too small. The 5 is too small. Like there's a lot of artists. 5 is too small.
5 is good. Okay. So
I'm trying to think about people that have done like bigger projects first before I go to people that have singles, and because there's a lot of other people that are talented with the singles, you know, like the likes of we have Salome, we have Awkward Z. I don't know. I didn't know you know Awkward Z. Awkward Z is dope.
Of course I know. I keep my ear on the other counties, man. So shout out to Waterford. I keep my ear open.
Scripter. I like Scripter as well. Do you know I wouldn't. Some people don't understand Trigger, but I think Trigger is really good.
Okay.
I think Trigger is really good. It's just he's on his own, like he's on his own lane, if I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talent wise, there's so many people that are talented, to be honest. Creo Ghost.
Okay.
There's producers as well. Chris as a producer, I love him as a producer. He's really dope. Chris Cabs is sick. Yeah. He's a sick producer. There's too many people. There's too many people.
You know why I like asking these questions is because
Yeah.
I want, like, you're I guess you're a little bit different because you're in the scene. You work, well, you follow and you kind of work with these Irish artists. But on the podcast that I've been on, I like to kind of just see the general consensus as to who they listen to. Like, is the Irish urban scene kind of getting to people's ears? You know, or is it just within our small little circle? So that's why I like to ask this question, just to see, like, who do you know off the top of your head? You know, so it's interesting. Like I said, you're a little bit different.
Yeah,
you're different because you're in this. But exactly. But that's why I wanted to ask, just to see. But thank you, man. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for always supporting the scene. Thank you for supporting myself. Thank you for your critique on reflection. Just thank you so much, man. Thank you. Cork City gang all day.
100%. If there's anything as well, just let me know. And if there's people that I miss, don't hesitate to send it to me as well. You know, because sometimes I don't see everything.
Please, people.
I don't see everything, and people get mad at me. Like,
you're a busy man. That's right. You're the mayor at the end of the day. Please, people. 23rd of April. Reflection will be out. Go check it out. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, SoundCloud, everywhere. No excuse.
Everywhere. And also give you a feedback. Yeah. They should give you a feedback. Yeah. Listen, let's play a quick game before we go. So you just tell me what you prefer other than the other. Yeah. 2020 division or Go Bravely. That's
I know that's the Nishala. I actually there's one more. Are you only okay? Am I only allowed to pick between the two of them? Because there was one more in that category that I actually preferred, which was Nilo's. All the Leaves Are Fallen.
Which one?
Nilo, All the Leaves Are Fallen.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear that.
So, because in the award that Denise won, there was 3 rap artists. So there was Denise, JLOL, and Nilo. I listened to all the rap individuals, but the one that I preferred, that I thought was the best, was Nilo, All the Leaves Are Fallen. However, if you're going to make me pick between Go Bravely or 2020, it would be JLOL's 2020 division.
That's interesting what you just said there. What made you think, how did you choose your best one? What made you think that one was the best? Because when I listened to all the albums that were in that category, I thought 2020 division was the best album.
Out of all the albums, you listen to every album on the... Okay, grand. I personally didn't listen to every album. I only listened to the rap albums that were nominated.
Okay. Yeah, but those two.
So that's it. How I picked the best is... Say again?
Okay, go on.
All right. So how I picked the best, honestly, is 1, production, 2, bars, 3, songs, 4, how each song kind of flowed into each other. 4, 5, just the team. How did any of your messages hit on me? I personally feel the production on Denise's project didn't bang. If I'm being 100% honest, and shout out to you. But like I said, if we want to compete with the UK and the US, we have to be on par. And I don't feel the production value was on par. Some of the songs were okay. I'm not gonna say like some of the songs were okay. JLOL's, from what I remember, there was 1 or 2 songs that was okay, but all in all, as a project, it didn't really bang with me. It didn't really bang with me. And he's my Edo brother as well, because we're from the same area in Nigeria, Edo. But Nilo's All the Leaves Are Fallen, it was a great project. Like, I'm not gonna rate all of them. But for me, it was Nilo. It wasn't JLOL's or Denise's. Yeah, man. But U.N.I.T.Y 2020.
Yeah, I thought 2020 was 100%.
Why?
From bars to, you know what? I think I related to a lot of things you were saying. I think I related to a lot of things. It sounded mature for me. The news, like he was talking, like he was really, really talking, and it sounded so mature. And the beats were fire. The lyrics was fire. The flow was fire. The songs are not the same. There's a lot of what you call it, diversity. He was changing. He 1 minute he will be in Nigeria talking about the Nigerian stuff, and then he'll be in Ireland. He can talk about his girl. He can talk about his relationships. You know what I mean? He will talk about just friendship within the guys. He was talking about the industry. He will talk. He has so much information in the album. So for me, it felt like, I liked it. I liked almost every song.
Weird. I guess, and for me, for Nilo, it was the beats that he chose. They were just, because for me, I love beats that are more instrumentally inclined. So if you can hear like the keys or a saxophone or trumpet, like I love those type of beats. So for him, he had a load of those types of beats, and just the cadence and the tone of his voice and his flow and just a couple of his messages were sick, all in all. But yeah, Irish hip hop is gone. So
Cool.
We'll stay too long on one question to say. It was supposed to be just one answer, and we go to the next. Okay.
All right. Cool.
So the second one: would you rather be broke and have more time to live than filthy rich and have 15 years less of your life? So you die 15 years earlier. But rich.
15 years earlier.
You'd rather be filthy rich and die 15 years earlier?
Yeah.
Okay.
In my head, I think I'm gonna go when I'm 100. So if I go when I'm 85, okay, it's okay.
That's all right.
Would you rather have a rewind button or a pause button on your life?
Rewind.
Okay. Would you rather fall in love or be rich and single?
Fall in love.
Would you rather be without internet for a month or without your phone for a month?
Internet for a month. Wait. Internet for a month or phone? Sorry. Phone.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Would you rather have an X-ray vision or a magnified hearing?
X-ray vision.
Okay. Pop music or R&B music?
R&B.
Trap music or rap music? I think I know this one.
Rap.
Yeah. Silhouette challenge or pass it challenge?
Bust it. Bust it. That challenge was so dangerous. Bro.
What do you prefer, male friends or female friends?
Male friends or female friends? That's hard.
Yeah.
I can't choose because both of them bring different dynamics.
Yeah.
Both of them just bring different. I can't choose, honestly. Male, female. I'll go with female.
Yeah.
I'll go with female.
Yeah. Okay. I won't ask anything because we're running out of time. So, will you rather shoot your shot at a party or in a nightclub? Just party or in a nightclub, or rather than on the DMs?
Shoot my shot, nightclub party.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a fine boy. Guy, please. Please.
And you have a confidence. Yeah, you have all the confidence. That was just a little game for people to know you better outside the music and stuff. So
thank you, bro.
It's been a pleasure, man, to have you.
Appreciate you. Like I said, just thank you so much, man, for all you're doing.
Anytime, my brother. Anytime. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Kestine. You can find him anywhere. Instagram, Snapchat. Are you on Snapchat?
I'm on Snapchat, so I'm on everywhere. Kestine. Just type in the name Kestine. You'll find me. I'm the only one in the country.